Testing, testing, 1, 2, 3. Testing, testing, 1, 2, 3. Hey, Magus. And William. Yeah, not so bad. Had some family stuff, a little bit out of town. Had a lot of traveling to do yesterday, so couldn't stream, but trying to fill in the void since the wind can't stream. Give everybody some time and a place to hang out a little bit, I think. Yes, the void hole, definitely. The wind in her void holes. Am I right? No, I actually don't envy her at all right now with all that smoke going on. Seems like everybody's got wildfires right now. Colorado has them. There are actually some not too far away from me. Probably, I want to say like 30, 40 miles east maybe. They're a little bit worried about some over there. Exactly. The wind conditions are not great right now. Alright, this was kind of an impromptu start, so I'm not going to wait too long for everybody to show up. Australia's getting snow? Seriously? I haven't heard that. That's nuts. Time to move to Australia, maybe? No, I can't deal with their connection speeds and their censorship and taxes on video games. It's funny because Australia actually has a huge gaming YouTube community, and for how crazy they are about video games over there, that business seems to be booming. Hey, Loki. Well, yeah, that makes sense. Southern Hemisphere. I just don't think of that as a place that gets snow, you know? Hey, there you go. I had half a Monster Energy drink today, and then I stopped through a McDonald's drive-thru and switched to Dr. Pepper after that. So that's my caffeine for today. Hopefully the Monster doesn't get too flat while it's sitting in the fridge. Alright, well, let's go ahead and get started here. I'm probably not going to do any heavy role-playing on this or whatever. The last stream that I did was just kind of a super quick exploration of what this concept could do. And I've since started them over, added 2 new mods, and you can see them both on full display right here. I took the Armor of Intrigue because it's modular and it fits a Gadgeteer character because it gives them lots to work on. I'm still not completely sure about the aesthetic of it. I think it looks great. I just don't know if it fits this character, you know? I like it just fine. Maybe it'll grow on me. The other part of it is the Dwemer goggles that he's running. Obviously I have those unlocked and completely smithed up. I got it all attached to my hotkeys and stuff like that. It is great. It really is. I like it a lot. I wish I had discovered this sooner. And it does fit this character in certain aspects. When I had this character in mind, though, as a Gadgeteer, it was more about just kind of having like this ramshackle, pieced together, jury-rigged gear attached all over him. And this is like a little too clean, I'm thinking. A little too fancy for this type of character, but it is definitely growing on me. So yeah, like I said, the last stream, I had everything, I had all skill progressions increased by 10 times. Now we're just doing regular old skill progressions. I'm kind of doing a regular paced playthrough with this now, and it's been a lot of fun. I'm still not sure quite how to... Ooh, there's some weird lighting stuff going on there. Still not quite sure how to roleplay this guy. I do have a backstory, some personality and stuff like that, but I just don't know about a bigger story that this guy might have. We're currently at Fort Sunguard. We've cleared out the outside of the place. I am desperately trying to hunt the rest of the Forsworn inside. But I haven't found any yet. A mesh issue with the lighting? Yeah, maybe. I am using the built-in light from the goggles. And I'm running relighting Skyrim and ELE and all that stuff. Relighting Skyrim has a lot of issues when you have like your own light source on your character, be it a lantern, a torch, or whatever. Yeah, maybe SMIM touches some of this stuff, but I don't think any of this stuff is really remeshed. Retextured for sure. Interesting. Hey, Bale. Good to see you join. Looks like we're getting the whole band back together, huh? Same happens with Undeath. You can run through NIF Optimizer and should fix... One light source will bug it out. Interesting. I've run just about all of my mods through NIF Optimizer. There might have been 1 or 2 that I missed, but yeah, for the most part, that's the worst I've seen it, and I haven't seen it that bad throughout the rest of this dungeon, so some good loot there, that's for sure. Yeah, so like I said, I restarted this character with a more normal progression rate. Right now, the bear traps in the lockpick, where'd it go? The lockpicking tree is kind of like my main damage dealer right now. I did just go through Avanchanzel and returned the lexicon there to unlock the trap building, the exploding trap building. So I can craft those up now, and I did actually patch that myself to be compatible with Ordinator. The mod originally you could only craft traps based on what your mastery perk level was. So for, say, like smithing, you would have to have 2 levels in smithing, or no, I'm sorry, 1 level of smithing in order to craft the basic level exploding traps, and then another 2 to bring it up to 3 out of 5 mastery level to unlock the next best traps after that, and to unlock the best deadly traps you would have to have 5 out of 5 perks in the mastery perk of that skill tree. But I actually was able to go in there, find out where all these perks were being checked, and I was able to convert them to use different perks in Ordinator. So for the fire traps right now, I need 2 levels of smithing mastery, 1 level in Dwarven Autocannon, I think. And I think to unlock... Oh, I'm sorry, that's for the second level of the second... I'm stumbling over my words here. The second level of traps, you need the Dwarven Autocannon. And then to unlock the final, like, deadly level of those exploding traps, I need to get this Spin Up perk. So that... Or maybe it was Firing Line. I don't remember now. I think it was Spin Up because it's the highest skill level in that little sub-tree there in order to unlock those traps. For things like the shock traps, I'm also going to need a couple of mastery levels in enchanting. For the poison traps, I need a couple of mastery levels in alchemy, and then for the frost traps, I need a couple of mastery levels in destruction. So I'm kind of proud of that. That was fun to go find in the creation kit and make it work for Ordinator. Otherwise, I wouldn't be able to craft those higher level traps. Now, the crafting requirements aside, the recipe for it actually, for these traps, actually take a lot of resources. You need a lot of Dwemer levers, which are hard to find. So we'll be doing a lot of Dwemer dungeon diving. That's a whole lot of Ds. Just to find materials to craft more of these traps here. So that's fun. I've also been able to avoid taking the more sneak archery related stuff. So if we go to archery here, I've avoided taking all of the stuff that kind of makes you more deadly from like a distance, from sneak. I don't want to be like a sneak archer sniper with this guy. Sneak, I've actually avoided taking the damage boosts for sneak attack. It's more so just about being hidden. I do want to get smoke screen when we get there. This kind of forces me to use unconventional ways to dispatch the enemies, which is really what I was going for with this character concept in the beginning, and it's worked out quite nicely. Lockpicking skill is really high, which helps with damage for triggering bear traps. Excuse me. So I'm kind of forced, in order to deal damage, I'm forced to try to come up with ways to get the enemy to step on my traps, which is the way I like it. Hey Simpa, good to see you drop by. I know it was kind of a pop-up stream. I was busy yesterday. I was waiting to see if anybody else was going to stream today because I didn't want to hog the airwaves, you know. But with the wind out for the day, then saw the opportunity to come in and give some people some time and a place to hang out and play some Skyrim. So yeah, right now the main method of damage, or of serious damage anyway, is my bear traps here. And I am still looking for opportunities to use the explosive traps. That's going to be fun too. I think this dungeon is just about clear. One issue that I've always had with Fort Sunguard is I can never get the cleared message to pop up on the map. It's like, I think that there's like some kind of like jail or dungeon underneath the actual fortress that might have an enemy or two, like some trolls or something in it. I can't ever figure out how to get down there from the proper fort, but I think that there's like a hidden cave like on the bottom of the mountain outcropping here underneath it. But I thought there was like some kind of hidden like pit or something in one of the basements of one of these towers that allowed you to get down there and actually clear out the dungeon. Man, ice cream sounds amazing right now. But I got my Dr. Pepper fountain drink, so that sates the sweet tooth for right now. Let's get down in this dungeon area down here, see if we can actually clear out this fortress for realsies. Who's that guy? Where'd he go? Oh, there he is. Huh. So Dorn has very few ways of dealing serious damage outside of sneak. So if this guy's going to confront Dorn, that's going to be kind of an issue. Looks like we have an Imperial patrol coming through anyway, so that'll help. Who is this guy? Oh, he's just an adventurer.
Greetings, traveler. We're a fellowship of warriors bound by a sacred vow to destroy the great evil plaguing this land.
So what's this great evil you're talking about?
Not a single soul has lived to tell the tale of their encounters, so we're not certain what it really is. All we have are rumors. Whatever we will be facing is a great danger to all of Skyrim. And that's why we must kill it in its lair on this day.
Okay, so I get the feeling that Dorn doesn't like to jump into anything dangerous without being fully prepared for the adventure. I think we're going to let him take care of this one. This isn't Dorn's style to go rampaging off unprepared to go take on some dangerous evil that he has no idea about. So carry on then, adventure. We got our own things to do.
May our paths cross again once this evil has been vanquished and Skyrim has been freed of one of its dangers.
Alright, well at least he didn't shame us too much for it. Okay, there is a cave entrance. There it is. I think this is what allows us to free. Ooh, more Witchblade armor, huh? And then some scaled armor. They look well equipped though, that's for sure. Okay, so let's see. We got any detect life in here? So that little clicking noise, that is the Dwemer goggles being activated to detect life mode. Don't seem to be detecting any life though. Fort Sungard Oubliette. This doesn't seem to be officially part, or technically part of Fort Sungard above, so I really don't know what I'm missing in the fort above to not get that cleared status there. Probably wouldn't bother Dorn much, but it's definitely bothering me. Hey Strudel, good to see you as always. Taking a break from your frantic word generation on your novels there? Or is your challenge period over with now? Not trying to tell you to get back to work or anything, by the way. Okay, we can turn off those Dwemer goggles. That noise doesn't bother me all that much. I can see how it might be annoying for some people that have issues with repetitive noises, though. Word generation ended last week. I'm editing. I see. So that's... I just see you posting a lot in just recently, so I didn't know if that was part of the challenge, or it does make sense now that as you're editing them, you're releasing it. The output has been impressive. Yeah, I can imagine that the less time you spend generating those words, the more time you're going to have to spend actually editing them and getting them into a suitable state for consumption. All right. So what are we going to do next here? What we did previously is we cleared out Bile Gulch Mine for Jarl Sidgear. So we can now purchase property in Falkreath if we want. We're headquartered in Ryek's End right now. It's kind of a nice little out-of-the-way crafting man cave for Dorn. He doesn't have to deal with people. He can focus on his gadgets and his creations and stuff like that. We just cleared out Fort Sungard, even though I'm not sure why it's not saying clear. I've been through every room that I can find. So I'm going to let that go, even though it's nagging at me that it doesn't say cleared. And we found the smithing skill book for Gorza over here, so we're probably going to go turn that in, get some free smithing training, and move on with the next task here. And since I'm not really doing a heavy role play here, I am not feeling bad about fast traveling. This is more about solving the puzzle of clearing these places out creatively without the direct damage from the bow and arrow, and more so using the tricks that we have accumulated in our toolkit here. Let's see, Gorza's down here. So yeah, as I mentioned earlier, I would say Dorn fits into the sneaky archer archetype, but he doesn't have the perks to support that to deal any kind of real damage. What he does do damage with are the bear traps. As he increases his smithing skill level, he's going to be doing more and more damage with the dwarven autocannons. And we just recently unlocked the ability to craft exploding traps. So looking for creative opportunities to use that to dispatch our enemies. For somebody looking for more of a role-play flavored stream, Jagasta is close. I'm very close with Jagasta to catching up to where he was before. He should be ready to go for Saturday, I think. I do have some more errands to run on Saturday, so I might have to delay the stream a little later than I normally do. But, yeah, looking forward to that. More slow-paced role-play stream.
I don't know why the Imperials like these so much. This should help the boy, though. Malakath willing. Here.
Loki, the bow that I'm using is the Huntsman bow. And I've chosen that one because it's modular. It's very upgradable with certain components that are specific to this bow. You can just search the Huntsman on the Nexus and you'll find it. It's a great mod. But yeah, all the little pieces of the bow that you see on the model right now, those are all upgrade components. So the straps on the handle, I believe they increased draw speed and fire rate. That was the very first upgrade that we were able to unlock for this bow. The sort of antenna / probe thing coming out of the bottom there, that is a stabilizer, and that increases critical damage. And of course there's the scope on there. I use a firing reticle anyway, the little dot reticle. So I don't really need it, but it works really great if you play archery without a reticle. That was the third upgrade that I was able to unlock for this bow. And the upgrades are unlocked with the smithing skill tree perks for the different material types that you can unlock. The scope actually does add more critical damage. It says more precise aiming too, but that I think is more just a gameplay thing than it is anything to do with stats or anything like that. And then you're also able to smith this up as you would any other weapon. So I got that up to legendary with my own smithing skill. Yeah, it's a great looking bow. It's very modular. I'm also running a mod called Knock to Tip, which adds a bunch of bows and arrows too, and the ability to craft arrows on the fly through this power here called Archery Skills Fletch Arrows. So you can come in here and you can craft all these different arrows as long as you have the materials for it. And you can craft upgrades for the bows that come with it as well. Knock to Tip also does a whole bunch of things like alters the speed and trajectory of vanilla arrows, but I went back through and I used the ABT arrow bolts and tweaks values for all of those instead. Yeah, they just make all the arrows a lot faster, a flatter trajectory, and they don't kind of like lob upwards as they do in vanilla. I think Knock to Tip also adds a special mesh that spins the arrow as it flies through the air. You can really only see that on kill cams, but it's kind of a cool approach. No, I'm not Baofish. I kind of ended the experiment with the fast progressions. I'm back to a regular progression level with this. The faster progression was great for kind of determining the high-level capabilities of this character. But in my opinion, it leveled certain skills way too quickly for me to be able to explore other trees and find synergies with other skills that weren't leveling so quickly. Uh-oh. So Loki's actually a warrior IRL. Don't mess with Loki. The Aerospeed mod is an important one for me, but you need to keep in mind to patch all the other mod editors. Yeah, that's a huge amount of work. If you if you run a lot of weapons mods like I do that add a lot of arrows, you have to go through the creation kit and you have to change the flight speed on all those projectiles manually. It's kind of a pain, but in my opinion, it's worth it. Yeah, the only difference, this is a new version of the character. I wouldn't say it's a new version so much as it is just like a restart. I've added the Armor of Intrigue, as you can see. I've added that for modularity. It just really fits the premise of a Gadgeteer character, a crafting tinkerer type character. And I've also added the Dwemer goggles. And the progression I've slowed down to normal, and I'm doing an actual playthrough with him now that I've kind of tested everything out at quicker progression rates. So this is the actual playthrough. This character I don't think is super suited to roleplay, so we're just gonna go through and do some questing, pretty much. Just having fun with the game. No roleplay pressure or anything like that. It's faster through SSE edit. Yeah, no, I don't know what arrows I'm going to use for playthroughs like this, especially for a crafter who is going to unlock these things through the crafting skill. I don't know what arrows I'm going to end up with, so I ended up just doing them all wholesale. And I might have missed some here or there, but I think I've caught all of them that I've encountered so far. With how fast the arrows are now, it's kind of obvious when you run into one that I missed. There's like, why is this arrow going so slow? That's why. Oh yeah, another thing is these Akaviri arrow mods. The lighting here isn't great right now. Let's turn off the... Yeah, so the Akaviri arrows that is added by the Samurai Blades set. You can craft these out of the standard arrows. These are dwarven. So if you have 10 dwarven arrows, you can convert them to the Akaviri style arrows that have exactly the same stats and everything like that. I encountered the elven arrows the Elven Akaviri arrows actually required ebony arrows, and I think that was just a mistake by the original mod author. It was easy enough to go into the creation kit and change the recipe for that to require the elven arrows instead of the ebony arrows. So it's been a fun adventure, actually, finding my way through the creation kit. And I found that once you know what you're looking for and once you find the properties and the recipes and stuff of what you're looking for, it's really easy to change things the way they should be to fix a bug or to kind of match how you feel something should be. Or, like in the case of the exploding Dwemer traps, make it compatible with another mod that you're using. You just have to have the time and the patience to get into the creation kit and feel your way around in the dark a little bit. Hey, Calitran. Good to see ya. Actually got a fairly decent little crowd here for a pop-up stream on an off day. But I guess there wasn't really much else going on anyway. Okay, our encumbrance is pretty high right now. Let's see. Just do some spring cleaning, sell off some stuff here. And then what are we going to do after this, I wonder? I don't have dragons in the game right now, so I think finding all these ancient Black Phoenix assassins, some of the enchantments on this would be pretty nice to have, even if he's not going to use the gear itself. This is the Black Sacrament armor set, I believe. And they're all positioned around like dragon walls and stuff, so I guess I could go around and get this, but there's not a whole lot of action involved in this. It's mostly just exploration at this point, just finding the dragon walls and digging up the assassins and taking the gear. So we could go do that, I suppose, clear that out. We have Helgen Reborn that we could do. Might be fun. Dawnguard, book collecting might be fun. This would take us through a couple of dwarven dungeons. The other thing I was thinking of is the Ethereum Shards spell quest. I just have to find one of the books somewhere. I think maybe Calcelmo might have one laying around somewhere. I'm not sure. Let's make sure I sold everything to Gorza that I can, I suppose. Where did she go? There she is.
For your help. Take a look.
But yeah, I've been having a ton of fun with this character, just playing on my own without any kind of roleplay pressure or anything like that. I think this character kind of mimics a lot of my own personality traits, as far as, you know, I like to go into my own little cave and just kind of tinker with my projects and stuff like that, and that's where I tend to be happiest a lot of the time.
Look at you. If only... so you're an alchemist then.
Okay, so let's sort these by type. Dorn does not use magic at all, so we never need to keep those in. Marksman, we do use our bow and arrow a lot, but we use it really only to set up traps, so really don't want to get sucked into the black hole of the sneaky archer. Smithing we might be able to use at some point. Okay, we have a bunch of alcohol that we can sell this woman. I am leveling poison, or I'm sorry, not poison, alchemy. Both to unlock the poison traps that we can craft, and also to get to the bomb crafting with CACO. Hey, there's the wind. She has blown in, that's right. I think somebody might have left a window open or something. Got drafty in here all of a sudden. Good to have you with us, though, the wind. As always. Sell off some of this stuff that we might not need. Alright, let's go see Calcelmo.
Let me know if you need a cure or anything else.
Bothella the Cougar. Alright. That's also the Dwarven short sword. I think it fits really well with the Armor of Intrigue there. And I really like the short swords in this game. I think they're added by Heavy Armory. They're very quick. And they kind of do the trick as far as if you just need a melee weapon, an easy, effective melee weapon in a pinch, but you don't really want to be a big, brutish warrior with a giant sword or axe or something. I'm a fan.
Good to see Skyrim still has such fine people. You give an old man hope. Spells and incantations.
See what we can sell off here to... Oh yeah, I did do the Dawnbreaker quest too. I'm going to go drop this off in Ryek's End. There's a special display for it. I'm running Zim's Immersive Artifacts as well. It just kind of adds a little bit of power to these relics that are supposed to be like build changing. And a bunch of value. I think it just makes more sense in the context of the game and the lore. You know, there's nothing wrong, yes, Bayofish, there's nothing wrong with doing a sneaky archer. In fact, I think that the game, the way that the engine kind of has its limits as far as pitched battles and a lot of things going on, the game handles a sneak archery archetype better than it handles anything else. And it's my theory that people aren't thrust into the sneak archer role as much as they are because it's so powerful. I think it's because it just works better in the game. It's more fun to play than a lot of the other build types, in my opinion. So yeah, just playing a sneak archer can be great fun, especially if you've kind of forced yourself not to do it for a long time. Loki has a possible idea for a new character. A little hint may not have been seen in many years, and our friend Calselma was fascinated by him. Interesting. Okay. Water. Do I have room for water? Yeah, so I've re-enabled I Need, and Death Alternative I think I have running. Because this is, yeah, Death Alternative, I Need are fun for just a regular paced playthrough. There has to be a book that, the Ethereum Wars book, a copy of that around here somewhere, doesn't there? I mean, this is freaking Markarth. I don't know where to find it. Something had its tongue. It was sticking out there for a while. I wonder if there's a copy up here in the museum. We did kill Nimi for Calselmo, so he gave us access to his museum, which Dorn promptly used to go and unlock all of the displays to level up his lockpicking. He didn't actually steal anything, he just unlocked everything. Ooh, there's a Dwemer lever there. I need those for crafting traps, exploding traps. I feel like there's a copy of Ethereum Worn in here somewhere. Okay, Magus confirms. And it's kind of a distinctive look. It's like a lighter gray cover with a unique texture to it. It was also quite the scavenger hunt to find the recipes for the scouter and the goggles, the Dwemer scouter and the goggles. Spent way more time in the Dwemer Museum than I ever have before, just looking for crap. Is it in here somewhere? Pretty sure I didn't see it in here. Maybe in the same cage area that the Dwemer goggle or the Dwemer scouter recipe was. I don't see one in here. Unless they got one locked away. No. Should be on the side shelf loose, if you recall correctly. Okay. So we just have to find that side shelf. Might be a copy in the actual excavation itself. Such a simple task turns into a huge scavenger hunt. Okay, I really haven't paid much attention to this side yet. Nothing doing. I am level 25, so the quest should be on... Oh, there it is. That's the one. I'm not sure how I feel about the choice is yours. I thought it would be a great idea, but if you choose not to pursue the quest that comes out of the book, it doesn't seem to give you a good opportunity of restarting that, in my experience anyway. As soon as I try to reopen the book to start the quest at a later date, it won't pop. So it just becomes a nuisance, just an extra dialogue to deal with when it does pop up. Okay. And I'm running Unread Books Glow, but I only have it activated for quest books and skill books and spell books. And these aren't glowing, so I'm thinking that maybe this area isn't working well. Let me just check this real quick in the MCM. Sometimes certain areas just don't trigger with this mod, but that's alright. Alright, so we have that quest now. Let's go do that, shall we? What time is it, by the way? 1:45. That's a long dungeon. I think we have enough daylight for it, though. Let's head back to Lisbeth, unload some junk, and then we'll go take on Arkandams. I never know if I'm pronouncing these things correctly. The Dwarven language has way too many consonants and not enough vowels, in my opinion. Probably most people's opinion. Oh, I can turn this light off now, too. That's a bit redundant at this point. These Dwemer goggles and Scouter, this was a great mod suggestion. I think Magus and Baofish both highly recommended this in the last stream. This really brings the character together. It's a lot nicer than you know, having have to rely on just that travel lantern hanging off your hip the entire time. It's a little more engineering, I suppose. It also gives me a detect life option and a night eye option for the character, and both work great. And they have custom hotkeys for everything in the MCM, so I can hook those up to hotkeys on my controller,
Lisbeth handles the customs,
which is always a huge bonus for a controller player.
Yes, I know it's called Arnleif and Sons.
Let's add another quest to the quest list, shall we?
Oh, by the divines, is it that obvious? I swear, if my Gunnar was alive to see me now, this store would finally be on its feet if I hadn't lost my last ship.
No, I'm playing without the use oil option for right now, Baofish.
You aren't for hire, are you?
I don't play with the fuel options on the travel lanterns either. That to me kind of steps over the line
Thank you. I'll have a sum of
from being immersive to just being a pain in the ass, in my opinion. I just kind of I want this stuff to work. So I guess if you wanted to roleplay it, I think maybe Dorn is using a solar charge panel somewhere on the goggles that keeps the goggles charged up.
Some may call this junk. Me, I call them treasures.
This crossbow is a very cool item that's added by Knock to Tip, and it's also upgradable as well. I kind of like bows better for this character, although crossbows would fit just as well, I think. It's a very cool piece. You know what? I might drop this off back at Ryek's End. I don't want to sell it. You can upgrade them with higher tension lines for more damage, or fast strings for like faster fire rates and stuff too. I don't know what other upgrades apply to these, but I think there might be a few. And there are also bolts that you can craft through the mod as well. Very cool mod. Recommended if you don't mind going through the process of adding them yourself, or converting it yourself, because there is no SE version. And there will not be. The mod author has forbidden it. Oh, I haven't read this yet. Definitely don't need to conjure spiritual saber cats with this character. Candlestick we don't need. The pelts and stuff we're going to keep. Okay.
Come back whenever you need something.
I hate starting the stream on a bunch of inventory management, but I do need to stop by Ryek's End on our way back to Arkantham's, even though it's not on the way. It's very much out of the way. I need more encumbrance. The Scroll of Wind. Yeah, I don't mind the needs mods. Those are immersive enough without being punishing. I think Frostfall, for the most part, does step over that line for me of it is immersive, but it also becomes a big pain in the ass. I found myself, when I was running Frostfall, I was doing a lot of settings to make it less hardcore, a lot easier. And it got to the point where I was thinking to myself, why even bother? I don't think I'm going to miss it much, and I haven't. I could see myself loading it back up, though, if I wanted to do like a hardcore survival playthrough at some point, but I haven't really been into those lately so much. I'm not saying I don't think you should use it, it's just a matter of opinion and preference, and I've come to the conclusion that it's just not for me. Animal fat. Yeah, Loki, kind of the same. When it first got converted to SE, after I kind of went all in on Special Edition over Legendary Edition, I was excited. I was like, ooh, they have Frostfall now. And I was like, I had fun with it for about a day or two, and then I was like, it's just really getting in the way of the things I really want to do in this game. And I always fall into the same old trap I think that everybody falls into, and you keep way too many potions on hand that you end up not ever using, but I kind of feel like it's better to have them and not need them than to need them and not have them. Especially on Legendary difficulty, you just never really know when you're going to run into something that just feels completely impossible to deal with. Get rid of all these crafting supplies. I think we're good on arrows and trick arrows and all the other stuff. Don't think I need to craft anything for this next expedition. So I'm not going to make you sit through all that again. Oops. Oh, are we getting buffers? I'm sorry. I don't know if it's YouTube or here. I think the wife might be watching Netflix. There's only so much bandwidth to go around. Yeah, I tend to enjoy playing the game more than I tend to enjoy just trying to survive, you know? Okay, 3:53. It's getting a little late. I think we're probably going to be pretty tired and pretty hungry by the time we come out of this, but that's alright. Let's live a little. Okay, not everybody's getting the buffers, so local a little bit. Oh, we're already hungry and thirsty. How about that? Good thing we got some water from Calcelmo there. How about some potatoes with some butter and a venison steak? Good for what ails you. Okay, so for Arkanthams, we are going to follow this road to the west. We're going to take our first left whenever we see a fork marker, and we'll follow that. I think Dushnik Yal is right over here in case we want some one-handed training, but I don't think we're going to be focusing on that anytime soon. But once we get to Dushnik Yal, we're going to hang a left, and Arkanthams should be on the right. It's going to start getting dark here soon too, so we might have to make use of some of those, some of that sweet goggle action. Oh, there's a goat. You had this coming, goat. Right in the butt. Every single time. Every time I shoot an animal in this game, it goes right into the butt. They have to be facing me in order for it not to hit the butt. And the only reason I don't think it hits them in the butt in that case is because the head got in the way. Let's see, we're going to be running into dusk really soon, which is going to cause us a lot of lighting issues, so I'm going to go ahead and field dress this and harvest some ingredients. I need is fine because, in my opinion, it's easy enough to find all the resources that you need. It's not too in your face about stuff. And when you do get the notification that you're hungry or you're thirsty, you can choose to ignore it without too much of an issue most of the time, unless you have it on hardcore settings. And in my opinion, it also helps connect you to the day-night cycle a little bit more. I like to slow down the time scale to 8 so that the days and nights last a lot longer. And it kind of helps you have some semblance of a daily schedule. If you have plenty of time during the day to go out and do your stuff and then come back and rest, sleep through the night, in my opinion, it just kind of connects you to the game a little bit more. Finding a place to rest probably does become cumbersome, especially if you're not running at a slower time scale like I am. But if you slow down your time scale, you have plenty of time to do everything that you need to do before you have to find a place to rest. And that's where the campfire mod comes in, which I also am a big fan of, even if I don't like Frostfall all that much. Campfire by itself is great. You know, I was thinking... Ooh, I hear a bear. Is that a bear in a trap? Looks like it might be. No, that's a bear that just killed a goat. Alright. Oh. Don't look at me, bear. Definitely need a quick save here because a bear will kick our butts. Now I can actually show off a bit of the place. Oh, you know what? We lost our bear trap because of the terrain. Damn it. And I quick saved right after. Alright, so we lost a trap. No big deal. Yeah, it just really doesn't like this terrain here, does it? Oh, I didn't even know about Mr. B's campsite mod. I'll have to look into that. See if it's a fit for me or not. I actually haven't run into anything that I dislike from Campfire, though, so I don't know if I have a reason to change at this point, but I will look into campsite. Oh god, this is frightening. See if I can find a better footing to deal with this guy. Okay, we didn't lose that one. Now where'd that bear go? This is the challenge of this character, is trying to get the enemies to run over these traps, and that's created a novel gameplay experience for me, and I've been having a lot of fun with it. There he is, I think. This fog is so thick. Oh, there he is, yeah. Okay, so if I can lure him this way to this spot and then get him to go over that way from here, that would be ideal, I think. Okay, yep, here he comes. Ouch. Okay. Ah, took so long to switch his weapons. I don't want to deal with Death Alternative right now. I'm not in the mood. There he is. This might work out better if I have a better perch. There we go. If I can pull the... oh, thanks for the count, Loki. Lighter weight just doesn't have the walking stick, backpacks, etc. Yeah, I don't find myself often using the the backpacks, but they are a nice addition. I do enjoy them when I do have a character that it fits for. And you can see how powerful these traps are right now. That was pretty awesome. I am playing at Legendary difficulty, part of the challenge here. That's why I got destroyed in two swipes from that bear. I pretty much only play on Legendary difficulty these days. I've been playing this game since 2011. I've never really taken any kind of extended break from it. So I find that setting it to Legendary difficulty makes me think more about the game and how I'm playing. Provides a little bit more of a challenge for a person who's been playing the game for the last 9 years straight now. Get a little bit more out of the experience. A lot of times, people who are more into the story aspect and the role-playing aspect of it tend to not go Legendary, at least from the very beginning. Just because, like what we were talking about with Frostfall and those heavier needs mods, it just kind of gets in the way from what you really want to do, and I completely respect that and understand it. But in my opinion, I'm able to do the role-playing and the storytelling and stuff with Legendary from the very beginning with most characters if you're kind of creative about how you're going to play. But for me, gameplay is a heavy, heavy component of every character. If I'm not going to enjoy playing them, then I'm probably not going to enjoy role-playing them or telling a story through them. Yeah, if you're playing Legendary from the very beginning, William, you have to think hard about certain things you're doing, where you're going to start. There are certain dungeons and certain enemies that you're just not capable of dealing with, but you can get there eventually if you know your way around the map a little bit, and where the things that you can handle, the things that you can't so much. Not the butt, but it was heading right for the butt until it ran into its head. Did you see that? Yes, Balefish, it does heavily depend on the difficulty mods, or not even just straight up difficulty mods, but like things like your combat mods, even things like CACO affect it, because you're not able to use the alchemy crutch that maybe you would have been able to use in the vanilla game. The little tricks that Major Slack is so fond of using in his legendary guides. Major Slack attack. Yeah, so Solstheim is hard, but not impossible to start on in legendary. That is one area that is tough to roleplay a legendary start on, though, I would say. Here's my rule of thumb. If something feels like work and doesn't feel like play in a video game, then don't do it. Play how you have fun. Oops, I didn't mean to butcher the meat, but... Oh, this fog. And the blood all over my face as well. Doesn't help. Okay, where is... I need some instincts here. We're missing a wolf corpse up here somewhere. There he is. Yeah, Magus. At any one point in time, I have a roleplay character that's slow-paced, focused on story, focused on character, focused on personality and how they're going to make decisions and everything. And right now, for me, that's Jagasta. But then I always have one or two other characters where I just play. Like, I just want to play Skyrim. And that's a little lighter duty. Little bit of a quicker, less pressure-filled, less role player's guilt in that case. So like after a hard day at work, or after a long day or whatever, if it's late at night and I'm just trying to relax a little bit before bed, I'll do my just play characters, which is this one for right now. And then, you know, when I get to start fresh with like on a weekend day, I don't have work to contend with or anything, and there's not a whole lot else going on in my day, then I use that to really focus on my roleplay character like Jagasta. This is the way I play it. OBIS, I played with a little bit, but I ended up not keeping it for very long at all. I kind of like the comfort of the familiarity of knowing where all the enemies are in this dungeon, or in pretty much all the dungeons and everything. Oh, and there's that Arcanthem's tremor. There might be a wolf out here somewhere too. No, just goats. More ore, though. Definitely take all the ore we can carry. In my experience, the enemies that were added by OBIS were just kind of slipshod, just kind of ramshackle, just add them here and there. I feel like the vanilla placement of the bandit enemies in a lot of the dungeons were a little more thought out, a little better placed. I think it's great as in terms of like the bandit types that it adds. It makes the bandits more interesting, for sure. Alright, where is this place here? Oh, I passed it. I can't see it through all this fog. I heard a bear. Where did that bear come from all of a sudden? I got a bear and a wolf. And I just ran through here not like 30 seconds ago. Okay, here we go. Yeah, sorry, I just really don't feel like dealing with Death Alternative right now. In fact, I'm going to turn that off. If that's okay with everybody. I do love Death Alternative. I have to be in the mood for it, and I'm not in the mood for it. Well, at least it seems like the fog is masking me a bit. Ooh, gadgets for the win, am I right? And you can see how little damage I'm doing with my bow and my sneak attacks right now. And that is by design. I really don't want to become primarily a sneaky archer. I want to force myself to rely on my gadgets. Oh, Magus can do a Hagraven voice? Oh, let's get rid of this clicking. How long can you do a Hagraven voice for, I wonder? I could probably do it for precisely 10 seconds before I need to take some ibuprofen and have a fizzy drink. Oh my gosh. Where did that... Oh, man. That's rough. Okay. How are we going to deal with this here? Is he going to lunge? Oh, this is awful. That guy really creeped up on me. And now is where all these health potions that we didn't get rid of come in handy, right? I am running CACO, so it doesn't do an immediate health recovery. Oh my god! Okay, let's lay some traps here. He might come around this path. Hopefully he doesn't flank me. Oh my god! Oh. Okay, now I'm sweating a little bit. Yeah, this character concept is not as amenable to the yeet as Jagasta is. He's a little slower. He doesn't really have many ways to defend himself in close. I actually almost killed myself on my own trap, which has been a problem for me up to this point. I am ashamed to say. But I was able to dodge over that first one and kind of avoid the brunt of it there and get the cat to step on it there. I've been very reliant on the bear traps because they do the most damage out of everything in my arsenal right now. The autocannons are getting there. Wow, it's dark in here. But my lockpicking skill is much higher right now than my smithing skill. Who said that? And the traps actually scale. The damage from the traps actually scale from the lockpicking skill. The damage from the autocannon scale from the smithing skill. So the traps do much more damage right now. But in open warfare, the cannons do have their uses. Oil is very useful. I don't think I have a need for gyros anymore. I'm trying to remember what else the exploding traps need other than Dwemer levers. They might need gyros. I'll take it just in case. Oh wait, I actually have them noted right here on my little notepad. For the fire traps, I need a Dwemer lever, Dwemer gyro, Dwarven oil, iron ingot, and leather. So yeah, good thing I took it. Let's see. Loki says, my Darnair is like that, so I'm doing it for 5 hours of filming that I condense into 2-hour episodes, so I tend to keep doing it for ages and lose my voice. Yeah. When I'm voicing a character, especially for like recorded footage, I record the dialogue separately. And I usually spend my day just recording lines over and over and over and over again until I get them just right. So if you watch the Chemical Whispers series, that's kind of like my best example of my voice acting. And I'm pretty proud of it, but I mean, each one of the lines that is in any of those videos, I've probably recorded a solid 5 times at least each. Holy cats, indeed. Yeet. Yes, you can pick up the traps out in the wild. So if I run into a trap here, I can replenish my stock of 3. You can also craft them once you unlock the bear trap perk. You can, I think they take like 20 iron arrows and some iron ingots and stuff like that. Yeah, voice acting is tough for me live. I have to, if I'm going to do some voice acting, I'm either going to do it just a little bit here and there in a live stream, like I do with Jagasta, but mostly if I'm going to voice act something, I have to record it separately. Okay, Bayo is check out of chat and watch from bed. Okay, good night, Bayo. You're probably not sleeping just yet, but it was good to have you in chat for a bit. Lost in the Ages. Is that what we're doing here? I don't remember the name of it. Or Lost to the Ages? Alright. Let us move on. I like the night eye effect that these goggles add. It's a little more subtle, but it seems more effective than the night eye effect that Predator Vision uses, which might be the vanilla one. I'm actually not sure. Oh.
What are you still doing here? Let me guess. You're here for the treasure, aren't you? Just like all the others.
What treasure do you speak of?
It's a long story. You ever heard of Ethereum? A rare mineral used by the dwarves. Supposedly, they had to build a special forge, the Ethereum Forge, to even work with it. The items it made were so powerful, they went to war over it. And
Yeah, there's something to be said, William, for live recording. When I do my recorded content, which I do plan on getting back to at some point, I need an extended break from the Chemical Whisper stuff, but I still do have Alkanil's profile, and I still have a bunch of story points written out, and actually some dialogue written. When I do something like that, I write all the dialogue before I even ever play.
something to show the world that I
Then I record the dialogue before I ever even play, and then I'll play through all the stuff that I expected to play through.
it's hopeless.
And then I'll go back to a previous save, and then I'll get all the footage that I need to match up with that dialogue,
Become the next victim.
and then splice it all together in the video editing suite. I use Movavi. So it's very highly produced for that stuff. I may not look like much, but I can definitely handle myself, Ghost.
Sure, that's what they all say. I'm not going to talk you out of it, am I? I know. I was just like you once. Well,
Yeah, I kind of wish they would have had more extended quests to find more Ethereum shards, more raw materials to craft the other things. Okay, Dorn doesn't really like working with other people. He prefers to work alone. But he also doesn't like delving into the unknown without some kind of advanced scouting. So it sounds like Katria here knows what she's talking about with this stuff. So I think he would prefer to have her help in a limited fashion than to go it alone this time.
read on then.
Oh, thanks, William. Yeah, I'm proud of the Alkunil stuff, but I can say that's almost 100% attributed to
This is where I am.
hard work and perseverance than it is to any kind of talent.
We're going to need it.
I don't think I have a bad voice for gaming, naturally, but it's not something I can do on the fly like Stu or EJ can. And that might just come down to like practice and stuff. I'm not trying to discount the amount of work that they do to prep and produce their work, but they are much more practiced at it. They are much better at doing the voicing live than I am, for sure. We'll take a copy of Ethereum Wars for our own library. Looks like there's a Centurion Dynamo core there. We don't really need one of those. We needed one or two for our Dwemer goggles, but now that we have those out of the way, we don't need to go out of our way to get any more of them.
This place has been pretty unstable.
Yikes, okay. And Katria is already pissing me off because she is shoving me into the spiders there. I love that explosion. It's so satisfying. Come on then, Spidey. Oh, he went right over it. Damn it. Katria is really cramping our style here.
You need something?
Can I dismiss you? Let me see here. I'm gonna start this over. I don't really want her following me. Sorry to make everybody sit through this again. This character is just not designed to have a follower with him. Just becomes too cumbersome. You know, looking at my notes for these crafting materials that I need for all these different bombs and traps and stuff, I think one of the best improvements they made for Fallout 4 was the tag for search button, where in one of the crafting menus, if you came across something that you were able to craft but didn't have the materials for, you could hit a button and it would tag all the missing materials for search. So then if you came across them in the game at any point, they would be highlighted somehow as you needed this for something you're trying to craft, which was great. And I really wish I had that for this playthrough. It would be so convenient. Looks like Loki agrees. And it looks like Magus agrees with the determination not to have Gadgeteer along with us here.
What are you still doing here? Let me guess. You're here for the treasure, aren't you?
It's fine for like a warrior character, but somebody, even a sneak character in most cases, would probably be fine with Gadgeteer, but
It's a long... You ever heard...
with this build type, where I need to be able to manipulate the battlefield
even work with it.
so specifically and minutely, having somebody follow me around that I can't tell them to like wait somewhere is just, it's very debilitating.
I spent my life tracking down that legend until my damn apprentice stole everything from me and published it all under his own name.
Yeah, kind of like the Red Books option.
And now, but it's hopeless. I died here just like all the others. Turn back. Sure, I'm not going to tell. Well, if you want to reach the summit, you're going to need some help. You want a hand?
Thanks, but no thanks.
It's your funeral.
We'll see about that. I feel like it was almost my funeral like 3 times while you were shoving me into those spiders. So, I'll see you at the Shard, eh? We'll take her journal, though. That's not a bad suggestion. Oh, you want to see what he looks like without the hood? Yeah, let me find some better lighting. Maybe face light will be enough. I don't know. Alright. Sorry if I'm talking louder all of a sudden. The waterfalls are really loud here on my end. It's probably regulated on your end, so I'm just screaming at you for no reason. Yeah, Dorn here is a red guard. He's got a goatee. He's got some face paint that I think looks cool with the goggles. He's got a sweet afro. Well maintained. Good looking guy. Keeps you on your toes, huh, Strudel? Especially early afternoon when the nap time starts kicking in. It's maybe not a bad thing to have somebody screaming at you. Yeah, I had a concept for a Red Guard bounty hunter with this exact look in my head for like a long time. And... oops. Fumbling my way through the free cam here. He had this look, and he was going to use traps and stuff like that. Oops, I have my face light on. Am I in edit mode or something? figure this out here. I don't know, I turned edit mode on. I must have fumbled the key or something. Yeah, he started off as a bounty hunter, Red Guard bounty hunter with this exact look. Some sneaky archery, but one of the gameplay limitations that I was going to give with this bounty hunter character was that he could only carry 20 arrows at a time of any type. So one of the self-imposed gameplay limitations that I was going to have is like, okay, how many trick arrows am I going to need? How many noisemakers, water arrows, fire arrows, and regular arrows am I going to need to clear a dungeon with only 20 arrows? And that kind of evolved into a Gadgeteer type. And that's actually a gameplay limitation that I'm going to implement with this character once I kind of get familiar with all of his different tools. Is if I go to clear a dungeon with him, how am I going to do it with only 20 arrows, or maybe even 10 arrows if that's too easy? And that's why I'm focusing on using traps and stuff above just firing arrows at enemies over and over. So much easier without Katria gumming up the works. She was nothing more than a monkey wrench in my gears here. I feel like I missed out both on that gyro and the lever from the first time I went through this, but we'll find more. There are plenty of Dwemer ruins to go through. There's a gyro already. This area gave me such a hard time when I first played this dungeon. I couldn't figure out how to get through this. I was like swimming around under here trying to look for some kind of secret underwater passage for the longest time. I don't remember how I figured out that you can just climb this pipe up here. A little bit thirsty. Okay, so when it says you're a bit thirsty, it actually doesn't affect your stats at all. It's when you get mildly thirsty that it starts to affect you. Same with fatigue. Let me just, speaking of arrow counts, I just want to make sure oh yeah, I got plenty to get me through this dungeon and then some. Snuck out. I gotta use that detect life effect more on these goggles, I think. Stuff is catching me off guard way too often. Oh, he was on a death march. Where the hell is he going? Alright, let's try to kite him back over the trap here. Seriously? I feel like that guy is only triggered when you get through this doorway here. He's meant to run into you. Where the hell did he go? Alright, well, see you later, buddy. I'm not following you that far. Those ears are not worth the trouble. Hey, and where'd my trap go? Oh, there he is. I ran right over it. That could have been bad. The bash works pretty well at staggering them back over a trap too. It didn't really fire when I expected it to there, but it has been an effective tool for me thus far. Oh my god, he's back. That is one hell of a patrol path. It's so long. Okay, we gotta deal with this autocannon now for a while. La 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 la. I think I've counted out 37 shots that this thing does before it disables itself. Oops. I accidentally respawned it. Sorry. You cannot disable the autocannon. I don't think so, anyway. I accidentally just reactivated it because I have a second one in my inventory for when I'm able to put 2 out. It just kind of respawned it. I tend to use this for bigger enemies like centurions, giants, things like that. So we'll let it run its course. Oh, come on, you bastard. There we go. Whew. Let's try not to use that again unless we actually have to. Oh my god. I forgot about that trap. It took so long. Yeah, that's been more of a problem than I care to admit, dying to my own traps. Okay, let's wait for this other bozo now, too. He kind of snuck up on us last time. Oh, and there's one over here, too, we gotta be careful of. Here he comes. Okay, quick save. Alright, we're good. Then I'm gonna pick that damn trap up before I forget about him again. I'm glad everybody else thought that was as funny as I did. He definitely put his foot in it that time for sure. He's got a bad case of foot in trap right now. Oh, and this is an archer, so he's going to be very cautious about closing the distance, which we do not like. Oh, hate it when that happens. Sometimes the traps just don't hit like they should, and that's the problem with the exploding traps here too. Yeah, well, sneaky archery for the win, I guess. Or for the wind. Sounds like some Dwemer hydraulics going haywire back there or something. I see it, sneaky bastards. Oh, these glowing mushrooms can be so annoying. Let's find some flat ground over here. Whoops. Okay, he's really coming at us. Where's that guy going? And no, we lost another trap because it's not flat enough. Great. Oh, so far away. Alright, we'll deal with one trap, I guess. Okay, where's that other guy? All the way over there. So they jumped out of their little termite tubes here, and they booked it to wherever they were trying to go before. Oh my gosh, where did he come from? Was he standing there the whole time and I just missed him? Ugh. That never gets old to me. I don't know why. I want to try some exploding traps here too. Get those involved. I feel like there's a lever to open that up somewhere, and I can never find it. Anybody know off the top of their head where the lever is to open that thing? It's probably not anywhere close to where the door actually is, right? Oh, these mushrooms are such a pain in the ass. Okay. We're good. Down below? I don't think I want to go down below right now. I'm okay without. Just because I know it's a pain to go all the way back up. I do think I found it on my own once or twice. What is that one doing up there? On his hands and knees? It's a little creepy. Let's try an exploding trap. Hopefully that doesn't like disappear into the terrain like the bear traps do. Oh, my ears get a rest from all that waterfall noise. Ooh, did it disappear? We'll see what happens here. Come say hello to my little friend. Where'd it go? Alright, let's try this. He's being stubborn. What is he even doing? Alright, that guy's pissing me off. Those are the noise arrows, by the way. They're added by Sneak Tools, the mod that has a bunch of different adds a bunch of different gameplay stuff and trick arrows and stuff for a sneaky character. I recommend it. I forgot to switch my arrows out. Just a little practical joke there. May as well just... Now where'd he go? This guy's being really annoying. And can't seem to activate any more of these glowing mushrooms up here. Did not mean to take that. Dagger? I don't think you miss much of anything, 57 Strudel. Just a bunch of annoying Falmer that don't want to do what I tell them to do. They would rather hide behind a wall than go check out a firecracker arrow and step over my trap. The best laid plans of mice and men. Ooh, this might be a good candidate for an explosive trap with some splash damage. How about right on the other side of the bear trap here? Maybe try to kill two birds with one stone here. Seeing as how that Charas can likely be a major menace. Of mice and men? Yeah. High school does love its classic novels. I think that the classics really are going to have a hard time capturing the heart, soul, and intention of high schoolers these days, though. Oh, that was too much fun. Are you seeing why I love this character now? I think you would have a better chance of getting high schoolers interested in literature with maybe something a little more current. It takes a very special kind of high school student to be interested in literature through the so-called classics, in my opinion. It was a big slog for me. I took some advanced English classes in high school, including an AP course. Had to read a whole lot of stuff that probably hadn't been relevant for several generations before me, and it all felt like a chore. Not trying to insult anybody who does love the classics. Just my opinion. Oh, and Shakespeare was the worst, man. Dickens was also really bad. Great Expectations. Oof. That was a chore. And it was really long. When I was reading Great Expectations, my greatest expectations came from getting to the end of that book and not ever having to look at it again. But yeah, I had to read a lot of them. Oh, there's Zephyr over there. Great. I think my favorite English classes were the ones that the teachers actually encouraged us to read whatever we were interested in, and gave us incentives on our grades for books that we had read. It didn't really matter what books that we read. Didn't have to be classics, didn't have to be part of an approved curriculum or anything like that. And I was able to kind of explore on my own. In junior high, I had my parents sign a waiver that said I could rent from the adult section in the library, which I was I feel like I was lucky that at that age, our junior high had a section of that library. And there were things like Stephen King books and stuff in there. And while I will admit that Stephen King, not all of his stuff is great, and maybe not even all of his stuff is that good. Some of his stuff is actually really awesome, and it did capture my imagination, and it gave me the experience of actually reading something that I enjoyed instead of something that I had to read. And from there, I mean, once you develop a love of reading and the experience that you can read something that's actually enjoyable, you're more likely to go back and read some stuff with more substance to it. Yeah, I don't know, maybe Europe is a little more liberal with that kind of thing. I think that they are with censorship on television as far as nudity and sexually explicit stuff than the United States is, but That's nice that they had, you know, adult level reading material for you to check out if you want it. It's not always the way here in the States. Gadgeteer still all the way over at the entrance. Okay. Oh, she's impressed now, huh? After she thought we were gonna dirty our little diapers and get killed.
You know what this is? It's a lock. A tonal lock. Simple and very, very deadly.
Yeah, I really did not enjoy Shakespeare either.
Strike them in the right order, and the door should...
I think the only one I had to do in high school was Romeo and Juliet.
You've seen what happened when I tried it.
I think the teacher took a liking to me, not in any kind of weird way or anything, but she liked that I was a good student, and so she assigned me as Romeo. So I had a lot of lines, and
Yeah.
that was not a fun time for me.
Who knows what else this thing is capable of?
Okay, I think there's like some kind of journal or something around here. Here we go, scrap of paper, and some knocks, and some cooked potatoes. My mother-in-law, who lives and grew up in Scranton, Pennsylvania, which is right around Magus's neck of the woods. She says potatoes, and I always thought it was like this adorable, charming thing, so I've sort of inadvertently taken to not pronouncing the long O sound in potatoes. So if you hear me say potatoes, I'm well aware that I'm not saying it right. Okay, I know that's the first one. Yeah, Scranton has its kind of dialect bubble. Say a lot of funny things. You don't order a pizza, you order a tray. You don't order a piece of pizza, you order a slice. And if you want a cheese pizza, you order a plain pizza, not a cheese pizza. The rest of the world calls it a cheese pizza. Strange world, northeastern Pennsylvania. Hey, Nabonics, yeah. Hey, nah, I know. Did you eat? Okay, what order are we going in here? Okay, so lower left, lower right. And then number 3 is either upper left or upper right. Maybe that scrap of paper will tell us. Okay, so I think we're going lower left, lower right, upper left, upper right, lower middle. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I don't know off the top of my head if that's correct, but we'll deal with it if not. I just did a quick save, so not going back too far. Gadgeteer is waiting for the climax over there. Okay. You know, I wonder if it's almost worth triggering. Well, that's a great question, The Wind, and one that I'm still not able to answer. I don't know technically what Hena is, but they say it all the time up there. Couple 2 tree, yep, that's another one. All the standbys. I kind of want to trigger the Centurion. Let's reload that quick save. Oh, now we're going Boston. Maine dialect here, huh? Wicked sharp. Don't go too far from the car. Okay. Now, is the Centurion, does he trigger immediately, or do you have to fight off a bunch of other stuff? I kind of want their components, honestly.
If all else fails, just take a chance. See what happens. Wouldn't be surprised if half the traps have been sprung by now.
Okay, quick save. See what happens here. Okay, spiders this time. I think it ups the ante to spheres, and then the Centurion after that, right? Alright, let's hope our bear trap doesn't disappear. We've already lost 2. Didn't get him. Going right after Gadgeteer there, of course. Oh, Gadgeteer, how I hate thee. Horrified to discover that you had a Maine accent. That's kind of hilarious. For the most part, Arizonans don't have much of a regional dialect unless, you know, you go out to the boonies where you got, you know, that whole redneck thing going on. But my family came from Washington State, and they definitely have their own dialect, and I feel like I picked up on some of that, but maybe not so bad. They don't call it Washington, they say Washington. The Hena thing, as far as I can tell, it's kind of like a yes or no thing. Like you're kind of asking for an acknowledgement, affirmative or otherwise, to a question or situation. But in my experience, I've heard it used in a more general way, kind of like a you know what I mean. Like, yeah, Washington. But they put the R in anything that has a wash in it. So you don't wash your clothes, you wash your clothes. It's kind of disgusting. But yeah, the Hena or Nah thing, as far as I can tell, the closest thing that I can attribute it to for something that's familiar to everybody else that's not a Scrantonian. It's more like Ernest P. Worrell saying, you know what I mean. Alright, no, I'm missing my bear trap here. I'm gonna need... Oh no, I already picked it up. Gonna need it for the Centurion, that's for sure. Get all the scrap that I needed here? Yeah, it's kind of just a general catch-all, just verbal tick almost. Seems like there's not much of an equivalent to it anywhere else in the world, and that kind of describes Scranton in general, I think. Okay, I think the spheres are next here. Let's... I'm debating whether or not to put a trap right underneath one of the dispensaries there, or if I'm going to put it in a central location and try to kite them through the rest of it. I think the latter is the safest bet. There we go. Quick save just in case. Ah, I missed. They're going for her, and she's coming for me. And now I can't find my damn trap. Oh, there it is. I also have to remember that I can lock these automatons down via my lockpicking skill too, which is also immensely useful. One of my favorite things to do with one of the spheres that I hotwired earlier on off camera is to hotwire the sphere and then jump over the trap over and over again and just have him roll over it. You totally deserve that, Gadgeteer. Kind of exactly like that. It was just endlessly entertaining for me, and I just don't know why. Okay, where did that other sphere go? Is that him right here? No. I think we need Night Eye and a light. There were definitely two spheres. Is that him over there? This is the one that was just already here, I think. That's a spider. Another spider. And another spider. This is the sphere that we dispatched that we saw get killed, and I think Gadgeteer took care of another one like around here somewhere. Maybe he fell through the terrain? Oh, he's not dead. Where was he? Alright. Alright, another bear trap. Scottish words for rage outs? Oh, he's really moving. Why is he going up there?
Hey, watch it.
You watch it. I didn't even want you here, Gadgeteer. Oh, I almost backed right into the trap there. Okay, let's... Boy, that was an interesting noise. Why don't you go check it out? You copper rolly bastard. Ugh. Alright. Where the hell did my trap go again? There he is. All the way up there. Behind a wall, no doubt. Why don't you come down here and play? Alright, we're gonna have to go up to him, aren't we? I hear him now. Oh, here he comes. Oh, now he's going right where I wanted him to. Right when I come up to go get him. Make sure we don't lose our trap. Okay, still good. It's just endlessly amusing seeing a sphere coming at you and then just getting dismantled by one of the traps. Makes me chuckle every time. Okay, now we gotta take on Big Boy over here. I'm thinking another trap and then an explosive trap right behind it. Okay. I don't know what the hell is going on with this game sometimes. Alright. And another big boom bomb. How about that? Oh, not there. How about like right here? Don't you dare trigger those, Gadgeteer, I swear to God. Okay, quick save. Oh yes, again. Quit your moaning. Interesting. I don't remember this. Landmines? I don't remember that one. You know, I have Hitman in my library. I have not had the opportunity to load it up and play it, but I've heard that the level design in that game is top-notch, and I really want to check it out. Because at some point I want to start creating some like dungeon levels and stuff in Skyrim, and I was looking for examples of games with good level design to kind of take inspiration from, you know? And that was one of them that kept popping up in games with the best level design. What am I doing here? Oh yeah, I needed a potion. Okay, I think that's just about good enough. Okay, fingers crossed for Centurion this time and not more invisible landmines. There he is. Okay. So we should get the lockpick. Or, I'm sorry, the trap. Yep, that took a good chunk. And then here comes the explodey part. Oh yeah! I love it. And now he should be easier to lockpick because he has such low health. And now I have the opportunity to hotwire him if I want, but he only has 1 health, and I don't have any more enemies to kill, except for maybe some Falmer on the way out, but he can't fit in those tunnels anyway. So yeah, I would consider Dorn a bit of a glass cannon. The opportunity for huge damage is there, but, you know, he can dish it out, but he can't really take it. And that's what's so fun about this character. I like to think of dispatching enemies with this character as kind of like it parallels him actually creating his machines. He treats clearing these dungeons as a project, as like a puzzle. Oh, here's that scope on display here too. It does work quite well. As you can see, it would work great even without a reticle. Oh, the pathing in this game kind of makes me chuckle sometimes. When it's not completely enraging, it's actually quite amusing. Yes, all these crafting materials. Are you excited? Oh, there's a lever up there too that I need to get to somehow.
So, it is real. Let me see it.
He has a very highly polished spear.
On the edge here.
William,
This has
come
been
on, man.
cut precisely right.
I'm kidding.
If you had another piece about the same size, it would snap right in. I saw a drawing of this once.
Snap right in, huh?
It's part of a key. A key made of pure Ethereum. The key to the forge.
Yes, super methodical, intelligent, and very practically minded would really, really
We have to find the other pieces.
measures him up quite well, I would say.
There should be 3 more.
There's something about this game and kind of hiding in the shadows and manipulating enemies without ever really being detected and getting them to do what you want that is just endlessly satisfying to me. You just don't get that with a non-stealth
We still have
stealth
to find the
character.
forge itself. I had a lead on that too. There's so much to do. I'm going to head out and start tracking things down. We'll meet again. I'm sure of it.
Pete off shiny balls.
I think we may actually be able to do this. And I owe it all to you. Thank you.
I never really expect the chat to devolve like it always does. I really should at this point. I don't. I'm not saying I'm disappointed that it does. It just all boils down to potty humor. And that's my kind of humor. There we go. We went the bunny hop route to get that all-important lever. Okay, so we'll take the dynamo core too. Is there anything else up there that we need? We have plenty of dwarven metal, so we don't need the struts or the solid metal. Alright, I think we're done in here. Might have enough materials to make some more exploding traps too. That was fun. I love the effects on that. Okay, let's make sure that... I think there's more Falmer in here. Maybe not. Definitely aren't any showing up in the goggles here, but I thought there were some more around the exit here. No, Loki, I really wouldn't expect anything less or anything else, but honestly, I wouldn't have it any other way either. Okay, there is... looks like a boy and his chorus up there. Is this where the lever is, maybe? Alright, quick save just to make sure I don't collide with anything on the way down. Plop. Plop, plop, fizz, fizz. Ooh, a gyro. I'll take the gyros. Don't think I need the life detection on the goggles anymore. For the time being, anyway. Okay. I don't know about you guys, but I'm just about done with this dungeon. I don't really feel the need to go back up and go through that locked door or find the lever for it. I'm good. Okay, William is off to bed. See you, William. Catch you next time. Sleep well. Loki, don't be throwing out false accusations. William is an innocent boy. He's a perfect angel. Loki has two things. One is called a love fart, and the other's a fizzer. They both kind of sound like the same thing to me. Oh, there's a big old spider over there. Might be able to get some poison off of him. Oh man, we spent all night in that place. Crazy, right? Is that giant spider? Oh, in comparison, that goat looked so small to the spider, I thought that he was chasing a rabbit around. Okay, give me like 30 seconds. I need to go grab a beverage. I'll be right back. And I am back. You are the god of mischief. That is true. Oh, that's not one of those combos, though, that's going to make your head blow up like Diet Coke and Mentos, is it? I feel like the god of mischief would cause something like that to happen, but would probably also be wise to it at the same time. Taking a swig of my sugar-free Monster and my orange-flavored Gatorade here. There it is. Consider the whistle whetted. Alright. I really kind of want to kill that spider. We also need to head back to Ryeg's End and get some rest, it looks like. A little bit thirsty. Both in the game and in real life. Funny how that works out sometimes, huh? Gatorade is an electrolyte beverage named after the University of Florida Gators. The drink was actually designed there as a super hydration beverage for their football team. It replenishes your electrolytes as well as hydrates you and gets you ready to go back out on the field and kick some butt. I just really like the taste. Electrolytes being sodium, potassium, and some other stuff. Sometimes carbohydrates in there too. No, it's not caffeinated like Monster is. It's more for rehydration than it is energy. Yes, it is exactly like Pedialyte with flavor, is what a Gatorade is. And sugar. It usually comes with a lot of sugar. I'm actually drinking a zero sugar version of it right now. Yeah, not really like Monster. Gatorade is more for if you're sweating a lot while you're exercising. Monster will cause you to sweat a lot while you're exercising. No Pedialyte either? Are you guys just running around without electrolytes over there? I guess you get enough moisture from your atmosphere, from your weather over there, that you don't need it from your drinks. Yeah, Monster is considered an energy drink. Gatorade is considered a sports drink. We have several kinds of them over here. The top two are Gatorade and Powerade. And yeah, kind of like Pedialyte, like the Wind mentioned. Yep. I would imagine that they'd have to have something similar to that, an electrolyte drink. Maybe just not as popular over there. Okay, did that spider give up on that goat? He gave up the goat. Good. Oh, and the visuals look so much nice. Oh, he didn't give up. Oh, there's a skeever involved now, too. Skeever, I think we can one-shot without any problem. We can take him out of the picture. Right in the butt again. I specifically aimed that like right at his head and his heart area, and it went right to his butt. Animal butts in this game are arrow magnets. 100%. I don't even need to do like a scientific study on it. Okay, I don't want to lose another trap here, but I need to set something up for this guy because I can't take him with arrows alone, I think. And I don't want to anyway, because that's not what this character is about. Okay, we didn't lose the trap. Oh, he sees us 100% now. Okay, hopefully we can... That was a nice big chunk of damage there. Lead him back around the carousel. There we go. I think that looked a lot easier than it actually was. I had a plan for that. I swear. That spider was booking it though, wasn't he? Okay. Always need to save before I extract venom here because the poison that you get on yourself when trying to extract the venom using Hunter-Born is quite deadly. Okay, good. Yeah, the big ones especially. The hardest thing about the spiders to me is that it's really hard to tell when they're going to do their venom attack, their melee venom attack, and when they're doing just a regular non-venom melee attack. Because you can time block a regular melee attack from the spiders and be fine. But if you time block one of their venom attacks, you're still screwed, especially if you have low health levels like Dorn does here, and most of my other characters, honestly. And at Legendary, forget about it. Yeah, it is. The jump melee is also one of the venom ones as well. That to me is the hardest part about the giant spiders, or any spiders really in general, but the giant ones in particular, just because they have so much health that you have to get through in order to dispatch them. Excuse me. Oh yeah, Powerade is a very strong example of what Gatorade is. It's almost exactly the same thing, it's just a different brand. So if you know what Powerade is, you know what Gatorade is. I would say Gatorade is probably the leading brand in the US, though, over Powerade. Mostly probably because of Michael Jordan. And the fact that it's been around for longer. I'm kind of curious as to what those monoliths up there are, those standing stones. I want to go see what they are. I think that might be something added by interesting NPCs. So we'll go do that. We'll head back to Ryek's End. We're going to have to craft up a couple of bear traps. See how our trick arrow supplies are doing. See if we have enough ingredients, materials to craft some more explosive traps. Yeah, this is a 3D NPC thing. Although I didn't see him standing there just a second ago. That was weird. I really don't feel like getting into a super long conversation right now, so I'm going to skip that for now. Not in the talky mood right now for Skyrim. I'm in the blowing stuff up mood. Okay, no worries, Loki. Yeah, I didn't see him at all. I thought he was invisible until I turned on the detect life effect. Looks like we got a level up too. Did hit level 100 in lockpicking, so we'll see what we can take there. The uncapper settings that I'm using will allow me to progress to level 255 in every skill, but I only get effective... those skills are only effective up to level 155, if that makes any sense. So just because I have, for example, 255 in one hand, it doesn't mean I'm going to get all 255 skill points applied to my damage. I'm only going to get 155 of that. But it does still allow me to level up and take perks and stuff in those skills, so that's good. Let's see. Let's start at the beginning here and just level up some alchemy. Oh, hold on. If I'm tired, I'm gonna sleep first. Yeah, we're a little bit hungry, a little bit tired, so let's eat. Because when you're tired in I need, it kind of stunts your progression in skills, and I don't want that to happen right before a crafting session. We've got a lot of goat cheese to get through here. Maybe an apple. There we go. Almost becoming nocturnal at this point. That was a long dungeon delve. Well rested, probably thirsty. Yep, moderate thirst. And it's 5 o'clock, so we can take some wine with us too here. Even though we just got up. Okay, let's see. First, is there anything in here? Yeah, no. Oh, let me check first. I always try to check to see if there's anything that is new that I can take a free effect in first. Oh, let me get rid of that dwarven oil first, because I need that for crafting other things that are more important than potions. So, drop that off. Oh. It's too valuable of a material for the other things that I want to craft than to use it for alchemy. Ooh, a goat heart, delicious. We'll eat some horsehair too, why the hell not? What the hell, I'll just eat some horsehair. One thing I never thought I would say in my life. Oh, you want a tour of the place? Sure, yeah. Well, let's do the alchemy first. And then I will take you on a tour of Ryek's End. It's one of, if not my favorite, player home mods of all time. Hey, Mr. B, welcome to the stream. Just doing some interim crafting at the moment before we head off to our next dwarven ruin to collect crafting materials for some exploding traps. I feel like we're going to need some more health potions. That was... If we're going to keep stepping on our own traps like we have been, we're going to need them. Assuming we survive it. Ooh, that amber is powerful. It went from a 19 base level health potion to 86 with the amber instead. Nice. I've toyed with the idea of using fortify lockpicking potions to boost the damage of my traps, but I kind of feel like the traps do enough damage as they are. Oh yeah, all the other stuff that you have to eat to sample the ingredients. I know, it's ridiculous. It's always kind of amusing to me though. Okay, let's try to just discover some effects here. Some of these ingredients. I think instead I'll just try to pump up the progression as much as possible here. I don't want to bore everybody with trying to find effects in ingredients. That's kind of not the most compelling footage, in my opinion. This is much quicker. The only reason I'm even doing alchemy with this character anyway is to get to the bomb crafting through CACO. So I really don't care what kind of potions I am crafting, I just want to level up alchemy. Okay, the Wind, no worries. Have a good rest. Keep those lungs clean. Yeah, no problem. Looking forward to when you're able to start back up, the Wind. Almost there. Thank you guys for bearing with me on this. You think this is fun? Wait till I travel all around Skyrim selling off all these potions. We are going to have to tour Skyrim here as well, just because the Ethereum shards are all over the place. I should consider installing the mod that beefs up the gold stores of all the merchants. It's a very nice convenience mod. I don't have it in this load order for some reason. I don't know why. It's a nice mod to have in every load order, in my opinion. Yeah, richer merchants, that's what it's called. I do have it downloaded and installed, I just don't have it activated on my base profile, and therefore not this profile either. Okay, we'll put all the ingredients away, I don't need to make everybody else slog through unknown ingredients effects with me. What next? Okay, we need... How do our arrows look here? We have plenty of base arrows, that's nice. The exotic arrows, they look just like elven arrows, but they have an explosive little surprise to them. So we'll keep those around just in case, but I also can't craft those yet either. Frost potion grenades we haven't used yet, but we have enough of them. Noisemaker arrows we're good with. Oil arrows and fire arrows we're also good with. Oil pots we're good. Water arrows, don't have a ton of opportunity to use those. I think we're okay with just 5 of them. Okay, it looks like we might be able to convert some of these base arrows to dwarven arrows, though. I just really like the aesthetic of the Akaviri flavored arrows more than the vanilla ones, at least for this character. They kind of look a little more fitting with the armor and everything. Maybe it's just because it's new. I'm used to looking at the vanilla arrows, and the Akaviri ones are a little fresher. Oh, we have to drop off Dawnbreaker as well. That'll give us some encumbrance room here. I did want to keep the Vinskir crossbow. And I don't think I have a place for Zephyr either down in the trophy room. Oh yeah, I was going to do a tour for Loki. Okay, so yeah, this mod is called Ryek's End. There's a little bit of a story to the mod. It kind of assumes that you're Dragonborn and that you're going to come in. Ryek is a skeleton. He didn't always used to be a skeleton. He became a skeleton after he died and decomposed. You find him right here on this kind of mound of dirt here, and then you can activate him to bury him, and then you can put his little sword there and everything. And then you find the knapsack here that has like his journal and stuff in here, and he kind of had a calling from the divines to create this place as sort of a headquarters for the Dragonborn. So this is the entrance area. There's the cave, sort of on the way from Riverwood to Whiterun. So if you are on the lookout for it, it is pretty hidden actually. You are able to find it fairly early in the game, in a vanilla start. I tend to start in Riverwood more often than not anyway, because that's where all the easier dungeons are for a legendary beginning. So it is well hidden, the cave entrance anyway. You have your Shrine to Talos here that actually it functions as a Talos shrine, I think, but it also has like a sandbox. Yeah, it does actually work with Winter Sun. Dorn is not religious though, so he's not going to accept any kind of a deity to worship. But the blessing does actually work, and it gives you a nice little animation there. Looks like you're going to cup a certain part of Talos's anatomy there. I don't know, it doesn't seem well adjusted to me. Dorn, come on, behave yourself here. This is a family stream. You have a tanning rack right here, and sort of a slaughter station over here, which works great for hunter characters that do their own hunter-born field dressing and stuff. You can pick up the animal corpse, drop it off here, and you have all the running water here that kind of takes the viscera on out the cave door. Very nice and convenient. You have another tanning rack here. I don't know why you need 2 of them, but I don't know. I'm sure they had their reasons. You have a whole bunch of animal trophies up here. They pretty much just need the pelt or some just one piece, one ingredient is all you need for these trophies. It's not like the ones in Hearthfire where you need a whole bunch of them just to get one trophy. Oh, Darnair doesn't believe in the gods either. Yeah, he's more of a practical machine type guy. Okay, we'll get rid of all the pelts and stuff here while we're at it. All the animal parts I tend to keep in this barrel here. There is no auto sort with this mod, which is just as well. I don't really like auto sorts in a lot of the player home mods. When they do work, they tend to put it in places where you can't find the things anyway. I tend to use the auto sort stuff as kind of a find where this goes for me tool, and half the time it puts it somewhere where I'm never able to find it anyway. So I'm glad that it doesn't have auto sort and that it doesn't shove it down your throat anyway. But it does have specified areas for a lot of different things, and that's nice. This barrel is actually shared storage with another container in the smithing area, so that's convenient. We have our wood chopping block here, and right next to it you have a firewood storage area, and this is really convenient because Dorn actually does craft a lot of his own arrows, and he needs the firewood for the shafts. So it's nice to be able to come down here, chop some wood, and grab some firewood when you need it for the arrow shafts. It stopped being a family stream when Will polishing his spear. Yeah. I mean, I guess it depends on what kind of family, but I don't think we're going to go there. I totally missed the activator for the wood storage and just went... I got to go through all this whole damn animation again. So Darnair has travel companions, but doesn't need them. Yeah, so I do have a lot of these loner characters that don't like to travel with companions, and things... A lot of times their game mechanics kind of prevent companions from being a viable option, just gameplay wise. Especially Dorn here, which we saw with Katria, that she just completely became a monkey wrench in the cogs of his art here. But with a lot of these characters that I have that don't prefer to travel with a companion or prefer to be alone, I've been toying with the idea of adding in like an Inigo or even something like a recorder that can be added in as sort of a nuisance aspect for the character. It would be great for role-playing, I think. As much as I don't want to be annoyed when I'm playing the game, I kind of find it an intriguing roleplay opportunity to add in something that's purposely supposed to be annoying to the character, and something like a recorder or something that it's like a more of a cute, like childlike thing, more of a dependent character, could introduce opportunities for character growth, I think. So I've been toying with that in my head a little bit. I don't know if I want to do that with this character, but some of them I could see doing something like that with. And also these characters that tend to be loner types also tend to be pretty serious. And I think a character like Inigo or something like that could bring some levity to an otherwise dark playthrough. Adjusting my mic here, it's making me slouch and it's hurting my back. That's better. Okay, so we do need more bear traps here though, so let's see what we got going here. Bear traps. Here we go. I need 20 iron arrows and 3 iron ingots, so I need 40 iron arrows and 6 iron ingots if I'm going to make 2 traps. Oh, I had a lot more ore than I thought I did. Okay, we got the ingots. Let's go get the arrows. Yeah, with the different mods that I'm running too, just regular old iron arrows become a hugely important crafting material. So I always have to make sure I have a stockpile of those iron arrows. And make sure that I don't convert them all into Akaviri iron arrows, because those don't work. What am I missing from my bear trap? Oh, I'm not missing anything. I just didn't see it all the way up at the top there. The Dwemer cups are added by the Exploding Dwemer Traps and Arrows mod. They are a crafting material for the explosive arrows here. I can't craft any of those right now because I haven't been able to find any fire salts. Explosive fire arrows need fire salts, Dwemer cup, dwarven oil, and a dwarven arrow. Just haven't been able to find any yet. I've been stopping every time I go into town. I try to stop and look for fire salts, but haven't been able to find any. Okay, so now we're replenished on our bear traps. We have plenty of arrows. Let's do a level up here and see what other perks we can use to unlock more equipment. Grenade shell. Yeah, those are added by throwing weapons light, which I have added as well. The things like the oil pot and the frost grenades, those are part of that throwing weapons light mod. I think it adds stuff that fits in really well to a Gadgeteer type playstyle. Something that you can craft to use to dispatch your enemies. Okay, so I've been concentrating mostly on stamina. And that's been mostly useful for this character for carry weight. I haven't really taken the slow time perk yet for the Eagle Eye perk or the Steady Hand perk in Ordinator. But that might become useful at some point. As a Red Guard, I'm running Imperious, the racial overhaul. And as a Red Guard, I have a passive that makes it so that I don't use stamina whenever I'm out of combat. So if I'm not in combat, I can hold back on the bowstring for as long as I want, and I'm never going to burn through any stamina. I can also sprint for as long as I want, and I'm never going to run out of stamina. So that becomes less important at this point. I'm never going to use Magicka with this character, so I think maybe I'll start focusing on health a little bit, because Dorn is very, very fragile. Okay, so we have a sneak skill of 60. I wanted to get to the smoke screen here. Ooh, and I can do it. That will really come in handy for when we're detected. And we kind of want to disengage, but keep the enemy looking for us, and therefore able to walk over our traps more. So that's good. What does our level 100 lockpicking perk give us? This also I'm going to take. So this just gives you a special effect that you can choose upon deploying a bear trap. You know, poison, drain magicka, drain stamina, slow, banish, or turn undead. Generally, you want to either pick poison or slow, especially for this character type. If you're delving into a conjurer's lair that there are conjured entities running around there, you might want to use banish. Or if you're doing a Nordic ruin, then you might want to do turn undead. But for the most part, poison and slow are probably the most useful in my experience. Yeah, so there's that. What else can we take? I just want to take a quick journey through our perks here. Oh, and I'm sorry, Loki. I kind of gave up on the tour there. Yeah, so I'm sorry, I'm just jumping around here. I'm getting easily distracted. Squirrel! So yeah, here's the hidden entrance to the rest of Ryek's End, the rest of the player home. There's a little activation handle here that lets you into the main part of the house. There's a chain there that you can use to close that down to remain hidden. There's some entry storage here that you can put like your travel equipment, like your torches and stuff in there that you don't really want to carry around while you're home, but you want to make sure that you grab on your way out. To the left here, we have a mannequin for whatever kind of armor you want to display. This is the armor that Dorn had before he completed his Armor of Intrigue set. If I can get to a place that's not clipping through a curtain or something so we can actually see it. Yeah, that's what he was wearing before. So I just plopped that over here. I'll probably put the Armor of Intrigue back up here when I move on to something else. This is a great armor set, by the way. I really like it. I think it worked well for him. It wasn't technically modular like the Armor of Intrigue is, but it kind of looks like it might be with like the armor on the cowl there. It looks kind of like ramshackle, like you pieced it together from a lot of different materials. This is called the Nordic Ranger armor set. Very high quality, recommend it. And then you have a couple of weapon plaques here. The bow that this is displaying right here is the Maplewood Brightened bow. That comes with the Noctitip mod that is an LE only mod that I managed to convert to SE, and it works great. I have been able to upgrade that with an 80-pound string, which does more damage, but you can't temper it at a grind wheel. So that's only doing 25 damage right now until I can unlock or actually find some better upgrades for it. And those are unlocked through leveled lists, so you kind of just have to happen across them when you find them. By comparison, my Huntsman right now is upgraded to a point where it's doing 39 damage, not to mention the upgraded critical damage that you get from the stabilizer and the scope that I've added to it. So there's really no reason to use that bow, even though it looks cool with the arrow quiver on the side. You can unlock one of those for the Huntsman too. I just haven't gotten there yet. There is also another upgraded bow that comes with the Noctitip mod called the Vinscare. It's named the same as the crossbow, but it's a really beefy, badass bow that is only unlocked at higher levels as well. So I'm looking forward to getting that and comparing it with the Huntsman once I got everything upgraded. The alchemy station here is actually beautiful. This is probably my favorite part of the entire mod. The ingredients here, it's shared storage, so the container on either side actually hooks up to the same container in-game. Yeah, Mr. B, it is gorgeous. It's absolutely amazing. It doesn't perform all that well on lower-end systems. It could probably stand to use another load gate, another load door or two, just to make it compatible for everybody. But yeah, it's gorgeous. These don't actually do anything, but they add a lot to the look of the alchemy bench for sure. You do have a usable planter here. Actually, it doesn't look like I can plant anything here. It's just straight up cabbages and leeks. I wish that you could use this as a plantable planter. You have some storage here for all the bugs in a jar. I have yet to actually fill this all out in any one of my playthroughs, but I definitely want to do that at some point. That's cool. You got your alchemy lab here with CaCO. It gives you actually the retort option to be able to upgrade your poisons and potions, and also build your bombs once you unlock the correct perk for it. You have storage for potions and poisons separately here. You have a display area for Muri's Ring and the Ring of Pure Mixtures that you get in their respective quests. And before you come in here and do your alchemy, you can just grab the ring, whatever one you want, plop them on, and do your alchemy. I actually don't. It's either necklaces or rings that you can't enchant with an alchemy enchantment. I think it's rings, and the only way you can get a full buff from your alchemy skill is by using one of the in-game rings. Of course, unless you're modding, then you can apply that enchantment to whatever piece that you want if you want to unlock it. The Ring of Pure Mixtures is, you get that from the alchemist in Dawnstar, the old lady who is talking about missing her husband. And there was a ring of his that that she wants you to get, and it's level locked. It's a fairly high level that you need in order to unlock that quest. And she just sends you on a fetch quest to go get his ring. And that ring is called the Ring of Pure Mixtures, and it has an alchemy enchantment on it. And it can be useful. Let's see, maybe you could edit that in the CK to make it plant whatever you want. Yeah, I would imagine it wouldn't be all that difficult. Bayofish actually is doing a great modding tutorial on his channel. He does some live streaming of making his own player home. I haven't been able to pay 100% attention to that because he usually streams while I'm working, so I have to focus on work a lot of the time. And just have him on in the background, but I do plan on going back through the archives and stuff and making my own player home at some point. I just need the time. Yeah, so that's where you get the ring. Like I said, I think it's locked behind a fairly high level, so it's not really widely known. Easy to miss. Oh, and I see Hawkeye popped back up too. Good to see you, Hawkeye. So continuing on with the tour here, we do have a bath. And I'm going to do a quick save right here and probably reload it right away. You can actually use this equipment basket and it will get you naked right away. So you can hop right into your, you can hop right back into your bath, take a seat. Got some soaps and everything though. It's not usable, it's just a static item, and you can rinse off all the grime from all the dungeons that you were at. And when you come back out, I think you get a buff. Yeah, you feel rejuvenated, which gives you a stamina fortification. Not bad for quite a while. 7 hours in-game time. And then you got to go back and put all your equipment back on, but instead of doing that, I'm just going to reload my quick save. I'm lazy today. It's a Sunday. What can I say? I've actually been putting off yard work for several hours at this point. That's why my stream is going a little long, just because I'm looking for an excuse not to have to go out in the heat and do yard work. Ugh. You have your library area. You have a designated place for skill books. That's just regular old storage there. You have a regular old bookshelf here that you can use to stock with your books, and it will display. You have several displays for some unique books in the game as well, that as you find them, you can come place them and put them on display. The Mythic Dawn stuff, Potama's Skull. A lot of this stuff is quest-locked items. You can come back in here and place the item once you get them. And then you can head back to wherever the target area. Like for Potama's Skull, you need it to sort of complete that quest, because you need to revive her in order to kill her. And you need the skull to do that. So you can place it here, and then it still leaves it in your inventory for practical purposes of the quest, which is nice, but then you still get a display of it too. Sort of like the Legacy of the Dragonborn, how you're able to make replicas of stuff. I just think this is a little easier, the way it's implemented. The skull keys in one of the Dragon Priest layers. The runed lexicon from... Actually, I don't remember what that's from. Could be the quest to get the Elder Scroll for the crazy guy, Septimus Cygnus. Not a whole... You get 3 separate bookshelves to display books, but not a whole lot of space like you would with a Hearthfire home or something like that to display your whole collection. And then you have some... This is your enchanting station over here. Some of the more unique rings you can put on display over here. Staff of Magus. I'm sorry, Staff of Magnus. Soul Gem storage. A bunch of some other unique books over here that actually have a cool little effect that goes with them when you actually place them. There's a little bit of a bug that it fires the effect even if you don't have the book to place, but that's alright. And enchanting supplies. The one thing this place lacks is a staff enchanter. I wish it had a staff enchanter, but it does not, sadly. And we've seen the smithing area over here. You have your workbench for your armor. You have some weapon racks here, which you can use to kind of put your weapons on. I found that with custom weapons, at least in the leftmost rack over here, it is bugged so that if you put the weapon in here, it stays. It becomes kind of static and it won't let you grab it again. But the rest of the slots work fine. So it's not completely bugless, but still one of my favorite player home mods. Blacksmithing supplies, that's where I'm putting all my ingredients for my dwarven traps and stuff that don't really fall into the ore and ingots section over here. Which I am going to take the opportunity to clear out of my inventory now. So that's good. All very convenient. And here's the shared storage with the leather and hides from that barrel over in the entrance area. And then we have the living area over here. We have a nice little fire pit for cooking. You have storage for your cooked food. You have a cooking pot here. Storage for your ingredients. You actually have a little oven over here that you can use to do some of the baking that's added by a hearth fire. You have a storage dedicated for baking ingredients for raw meat, which I do think we have some raw meat that we can put away now. Some pheasant breast, some raw beef, raw bear meat, raw chorus meat. And as you can see, it's kind of refrigerated there to keep everything fresh. Very nice. Beverages section for like your wines and stuff. General food area. And you also have a mortar here that you can use to grind flour. So it kind of replaces a mill.